must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Good morning, and thank you again for finding time to be with us again. My name is Miriam Ogutu. The show is The People's Court, and we will continue with the topic we had started on our morning show earlier on, and that is on the criminal justice system in Kenya. We'll be riding on the back of what DPP Haji said yesterday, and so is the criminal justice system a weak link when it comes to the fight against corruption in the country. That will be our topic, and joining me right now is Professor Jared Onyari. Professor, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam, and my fellow panelists and our viewers.
All right, very well. And we are also joined by Douglas Kirimi. Douglas, good morning. And as we wait for Douglas, we do have Jevan Karanja. Jevan, good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam. Good morning to my viewers wherever they're watching us from. And good morning to my fellow panelists. Always a pleasure showing up on Punchline Africa Television. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Nice to have you, Jevan. And we do also have Samuel Tawish. Good morning, Tawish.
Good morning, Miriam, and everyone indeed who is tuned in watching this program. And of course, to my colleague panelist.
All right, and last but certainly not least is Dr. Joseph Nyanchama. Dr. very good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam and my fellow panelists. I'm happy to be in this discussion today. Thank you.
All right, so thank you so much. And it's a discussion that is very close to our hearts because we know corruption has really messed up a lot of things, especially when it comes to a service delivery to Kenyans. A lot of things and monies that are meant to go benefit Kenyans directly in our public, healthcare system, in public schools, in anything that touches on the people of Kenya benefiting. Corruption has been one of the key things that has hindered even proper development in the country. And so there is a lack of demonstrable prosecutorial capacity with respect to corruption or economic crimes, especially those involving high-profile individuals and grand corruption scandals. Some cases have been dismissed on an account of lack of sufficient incriminatory evidence, and there is no strong penal code applicable to corruption. Penal codes relative to economic crimes are weaker and not commensurate to the potential impact of such crimes. And so let's just revisit that story that we had started on earlier, and I think when we concluded the conversation, Professor, you cited the example of Sirisia Member of Parliament, Waluke, who was found guilty of economic crimes, but he's still serving as a Member of Parliament, and somehow he was able to appeal, and he's outside the prison gates right now. And on top of that, he's still receiving his salary, and yet he was found guilty by the Kenyan court. Can we just start from there before I even read, this story, and we start off, Professor?
Yeah, Miriam, thank you. That we just concluded on that note, and we are starting from there, Miriam.
Yeah.
And this case was all the way from 2012. 2012, that's when, in the first place, it went to court, Miriam, and they had imported hair in the name of maize in this country. They had even saying that, Miriam, they had hired, they had reached a warehouse in South Africa where they had stored those maize, Miriam, and the anti-corruption did an excellent job. They even went down to those places, Miriam, and they found that was a garage, Miriam. And then the magistrate, Juma, very excellent lady, Miriam, and I wish that I was one of those who were promoting her. These are the kind of people who have got the interest of this country. See, hammered this man properly with his associates, Miriam, together with the companies, Miriam. What did Waluke say? Miriam, he tried to raise some money, Miriam, even the mama, the grandma, they were not able, but eventually they were able to raise the bill. Then they went to the Court of Appeal, Miriam. And the constitution of this country, Miriam, do you know what we did a mistake? Miriam, in 2010, Tawish, are you a Seventh-day Adventist or you are a good member of the church?
He's a good member of the church.
Yes, because I don't think this, I don't know where these youngsters of ours, they take this stuff, Miriam. What I'm trying to say that those of us who were there in 2010, I don't know whether we were drunk. We said now, if someone commits a crime, regardless of the crime, he must be able to get bail. What happened, Miriam? You kill someone, he goes to the grave, I saw you killing Miriam, then you go to court and you get you put a bond on Miriam, you just walk here on the street, Miriam. This is what happened to Waruka and his associate Miriam. They put an appeal, Miriam, and then they came out. The case is there, and you know we have been having a shortage in the court of appeal. I don't know whether it was by design or what. So the cases which has been there, Miriam, even if it's going to be given a date, be assured it will be given a date of 2025, Miriam. Will we be alive to be talking about this? People could have lost even the memory. And then he's now presumed innocent, Miriam, and now he's in the parliament, earning a salary and representing the people of Syria. What a shame. And that's why we are trying to say that, Miriam, the weak link of fighting corruption in this country, it is the judiciary. It is the judiciary. Why? You have had none other than from the director of public prosecution saying that, Miriam, the big fish in this country, you cannot nab them. So be it as it may, Miriam, something must be done. And even if they think that they might, the fact that we are having this conversation, Miriam, giving us stories as if we are listening stories from our grandmother. They used to give us stories, we sleep and we wake up and we find them going on. We will continue talking about corruption in this country and condemn that corruption, Miriam. So many people have suffered in this country, Miriam. Remember the one who, Miriam, I don't know which country. I'm ashamed even to belong to this country. But which other country do I have? This is my country, and I have to fight, and I will have to talk, keep on talking, Miriam, until we get things right, Miriam. See the young man, that accountant from Masai Mara University. What have they done for you, Miriam? You report crime, and Miriam, and the men and the women of sober mind, they go in a council, and then they sack you. What are you telling us, Miriam? I saw even the other day, Miriam, a police officer, Miriam, I don't understand what's happening in this country, Miriam. That you cannot complain because there is a chain of command where you report and nothing happens. And that's what they want to subject you. And they're gagging the police officers, the female officers who are harassed, Miriam, and they say that I've reported these things, I rather resign. And now they are saying that now when you have said that, you have committed a crime. So, Miriam, the people who are charged in helping us fight in the corruption in this country. Although I said in the morning that the friends who come to take our animals, and we said that the Maasai believe that all the animals belong, the animals are not yours. We need to demystify that. Taking someone's thing is bad. And that's the mentality these people in this country, they have, Miriam, that you can be able to steal. And you cannot be taken anywhere, Miriam.
All right.
Miriam, I can tell you that the corruption, what it has done to these people in this country, young professionals, even Joseph and others would come and testify, Miriam, that someone uses you, thinks you are smart, that you can carry money to his office and you cannot be able to trail, that is the money belongs to him. And we can see you having buildings and having towers in hotel, even grabbing public grounds, and you think you are smart. Remember, there is a God in heaven. Don't steal from the people of Kenya. So we are putting the judiciary, Miriam. If they will help us, Miriam, and we get only 2 million. Do you know, Miriam, when Waruka was sent in, people were going to the toilet, Miriam, and they will not come out. They will go to, Miriam, not even not say that thing. They go to the toilet, Miriam.
Now
they feel like they are run for Ronco, but there's no Ronco, Miriam, which is coming.
Now they're out and they're enjoying the fresh air.
They could say they rather stay in the toilet rather than coming out. Miriam, that's the kind of judiciary I want to see, that anyone who steals the money which belongs to the people of Kenya, even the one I was telling you about, Kera, that you are very smart, you can go to Kereresho and other places and buy apartments, now that you are very smart, where the money which is meant to build roads for this country, Miriam, to develop this country, Miriam, open this country, Miriam, to ensure that we travel safely. How many Kenyans have died on the road simply because the roads are not safe? And you are very smart that you can put your sisters and your friends, Miriam. We must condemn corruption, and Miriam, the judiciary must help. They have got no choice. And I hope now that Martha Koome, who has got a mother love, Miriam, she can hatch this country like a chicken. like a hen which hatches these chicks, Miriam, and ensure that the money meant for the people of Kenya serves us. I submit as I've opened, Miriam.
All right, and Prof there has opened on a very high note. Jevan Karanja, the case of Waluke is a very good example of what everything that is wrong with our criminal justice system.
Yeah, thank you very much. And you know, the problem that we have in this country is a judiciary that is not alert to its mandate to ensure that the fight against corruption is realized. Because for this country to move to the next level, Miriam, if we go with what the president said recently, that it is estimated that we lose at least 2 billion per day through corruption. This means that in this country, the kind of heavy taxes that we have in this country, the overburdened Wanjiku by taxes, they are all courtesy of corruption. If we can seal the loopholes where this money get lost, Miriam, we can be able to save a significant amount that can take this country to the next stage in terms of development and terms of economic growth and prosperity. Therefore, we need to ensure, and because I have seen President Uhuru Kenyatta having the political goodwill, and he have said that even his closest allies will not be spared when it comes to the fight against corruption. Whether it is his brother Muhoho Kenyatta, whether it is his relatives, they will not be spared because he is determined to ensure that we fight this monster once and for all. But the setback that we have, I think, is judiciary. Because Miriam, when you look at the case of Waluke, now he is scot-free. He is busy campaigning for his re-election in Bungoma and other corrupt leaders, Miriam. They are busy working scot-free. Look at Waititu. Look at Sonko. Look at the governor of Samburu. These guys, they are busy walking around, and we have a judiciary that is promising us, that is telling us we don't need even the BBI, that brings good recommendations to ensure that we catalyze and we accelerate, we amplify the fight against corruption. Therefore, we need to ensure that our judges, our judicial officers are serious, Miriam. And I would like them to emulate what Justice Mombi Ngugi did when he said that if we are mentioned in any corrupt related cases, you will not step to the public office, you will not continue executing your mandate in that office. And Miriam, that is how we have been able to ensure that the likes of Waititu, the likes of Sonko are out of office, Miriam. If we can have all judges, Miriam, walking that path, we can achieve prosperity. We can be able to fight this corruption, Miriam. We just need to have 5 or 10, Miriam, guys jailed, alive in imprisonment, without giving this leeway to give bonds, because they end up doing harambes and fundraising, and they end up raising the amount. Miriam, when you look at the amount that Waluke was asked to give us a board or bail, it was quite huge, Miriam. It was almost $500 million, and I don't know which means he used to raise this money. Therefore, the courts also need to ensure that we don't give these corrupt guys a leeway, or we be lenient to them to a point where they'll be walking scot-free. We need them to serve jail sentence, and if we can do that, Miriam, that will act as a deterrence measures. You'll see these guys fearing to touch public resources. They'll start fearing touching this money, and misusing this money. And Miriam, they'll be held accountable. I think that is the path that we need to go. We need to be more radical when it comes to fight against corruption. And I think, Miriam, if our judiciary will not work, we need this parliament and Kenyans to ensure that we bring more good registrations, Miriam. If we are found to be corrupt, Miriam, I think these guys need to be shot in public, like what happens in other jurisdictions, so that they will fear. They will run away, Miriam. Next time they will not try to touch taxpayers' money. But Miriam, if we walk away with this constitution that gives them the freedom to go and to get some court orders to allow them continue being in office, Miriam, we are not heading in the right direction. Therefore, the judiciary should wake up and work in coordination with the other agencies to fight this monster.
All right. Thank you so much. And Samuel Tawish, when we left that conversation earlier on, I know you had something to say about the example that we're using right now, starting off this conversation. The MP for Sirisia, he was found guilty. So there are no allegations. The court found him guilty. All the investigations that were done, he was part of that mega scandal that, ended up stealing, money from the public that was meant to benefit the public. But he went to jail, and even after he went to jail, I don't know, nobody in Sirisia went to petition for him to be removed as their member of parliament. Even in jail, he continued to receive his salary. He was able to appeal his out right now, and he's still a member of parliament for Sirisia, and he's still receiving the salary, even after being found guilty. Tell me how that makes sense.
Well, Miriam, my pleasure to make contribution on this topic this morning or afternoon, depending on where you're watching us from. Indeed, let me begin by reminding my good brother, that is Professor Jared Onyari, that when I spoke about the Maasais and the cows, I don't necessarily mean like I buy into that notion that all Maasais believe that all the cows or animals really belong to them. I think it was just on a lighter note, and I hope he's not going to treat it as such serious. Miriam, back to your point and question. I think the question to do with corruption in this country, Miriam, is something that we have been discussing for quite some time. And when it comes to accountability, transparency, when it comes to the mandate of respective institutions, I think there's a very big letdown when it comes to this institution that are supposed to help us fight corruption. Like I said earlier, and I think I should repeat it this time around, Miriam, that the fight against corruption is not an individual kind of cause. It's something that we all need to pull our efforts. It's something that needs all and sundry to make sure that we wipe this monster completely amidst us. But back to the point about the Member of Parliament for Sirisia, Honorable John Waluke. Miriam, I'm not quite surprised because, again, this has become more like a culture in Kenya that if you have money, if you have a lot of resources, then you can bribe or buy your way out, especially even when it comes to this issue of being convicted. Because no one really can understand why Member of Parliament for Sirisia, John Waluke, he continues to enjoy even his status as a Member of Parliament. He continues to enjoy the privileges of being an honorable Member of Parliament when he's dishonorable in the first place. Dishonorable in the sense that he was convicted and actually jailed, but because he has money or he has allies who actually help him to buy his way out, he's actually out here. Then how can we make it possible? How can we even be role models, even for the young generation or to the young generation, that stealing of public money or stealing or getting involved in corruption instances is something that is bad? Because again, the children and the young generation that we have are looking up to us. They're looking unto examples that we are giving unto them. If Honorable Waluke can be convicted for having maybe stolen about a billion Kenya shillings, and today is out here campaigning and also even seeking to be re-elected once more for the same position. So how can we teach our young children that stealing is wrong, that stealing is a bad vice? Because again, when they look into the examples that we have around, the people whom we cheer and celebrate, then we have nothing to give as an example of why corruption is bad, Miriam. So I think we should begin from there, that we should have deterrent measures, especially for those who have been caught up in corruption, and particularly for those who have been convicted. That way, we will be discouraging people to get involved in this corrupt activity. Second, I think, Miriam, also as members of the public, we need to stop cheering the corrupt leaders. There are people today in this country, Miriam, who have a lot of illicit wealth, but we continue to cheer them. In fact, we are even their ardent supporters. We even want them to get re-elected into various positions. Some of them even have higher ambitions to get into bigger positions. But again, the ordinary people cannot see from an objective lens, Miriam, and see that these are the people who have made it difficult even for the ordinary people to have the basic of commodities, for them to get the services that they would otherwise have wanted from their government, because a few individuals who are corrupt have actually taken the advantage and stolen all these monies and resources that are meant for the services of our people. So I think we also need to continually teach and sensitize the members of the public to pinpoint and actually not be cheerleaders and not to be supporters of people who filthy rich and not necessarily through legitimate means, like what we are seeing with most of our leaders, especially the politicians in this country. Coming back to the judiciary, I think, Miriam, it is one of those weak links. But I want to make this analogy, Miriam. Take, for example, the construction of a house. When you have a poor workmanship, especially from the foundation, you do not expect, even if you're going to have a very good painter painting this structure, if you're going to have a very good guy actually doing the roofing for this house, finally, you will not have a very strong structure, you will not have a very strong house. So I need to emphasize the need for us to relook into our foundation, how we are dealing with investigations so that we have watertight cases. Even as we go to the judiciary, we do not have cases that can't be dismissed because there is no enough evidence, or we do not have substantial evidence really to nail this culprit. So it is about a well-concerted approach. It's about all of us doing every bit from where we stand, from where we are mandated. That way we can be rest assured that we'll be winning this war against corruption. But as it is today, evidence points to the fact that the judiciary has been the biggest weak link, especially with the corruption that has penetrated the judiciary. And that is why you're seeing we're having all these problems. There's that also point that Dr. Masanga has been mentioning, for example, Miriam, the question of anticipatory bail. One of the panelists here has mentioned about why we cannot even have why we cannot shoot to kill those who are involved in corruption. But again, here we have our constitution. Professor Nyari did mention it, that we voted for this new constitution. It is like we are drunk in 2010 that we are even allowed such kind of articles to be in our constitution, that a person can even go and steal or kill, but again rush to the court and get anticipatory bail where you cannot even apprehend or arrest them. So it is a very big challenge you are having in as far as the constitutional structure is also concerned. So it's something that we need to look, and especially now with the BBI, I'm hopeful maybe if it's going to sail through, it might give us maybe solutions to some of these predicaments we find ourselves in as far as the fight against corruption is concerned. Miriam, I submit.
Very well said. Samuel Tawish. Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, what is wrong with our criminal justice system and the laws we have in place to fight corruption?
Oh, thank you, Miriam, and my fellow panelists. Miriam, I hope even lawyers listening to this TV, Punch Africa TV, I want as my fellow panelists for once to think deeply this issue of lawyers cheating us. The law simply says because we are good citizens who abides by the law, it says, Miriam, you are innocent until proved guilty. Mm-hmm. Let us now face it and tell these guys they are wrong. That one is correct. Before the issue of Walike came before the justice system, he was deemed to be innocent. That is true. That's what the law says. But when he went through the process, he was found guilty. So the state of innocence had changed to guilty. Because there is the law and the spirit. So as things stand, Waluke is guilty. If you go by the spirit of the law, you stay in that state until it is overturned by overwhelming evidence. So the state of Waluke, guilty. He has to stay guilty until now proved innocent. The spirit of the law of innocent until proved guilty, meaning it is the state. So if your state changes, you remain that state until it is overturned. Mm-hmm. By the way, that is the spirit of the law. Let any lawyer challenge that scenario. That is it all over the world. Miriam, let me tell you something. One legal philosopher said, when the law is against you, you argue the facts. When the facts against you, you argue the law. When both the law and the facts are against you, you bang the tables. Banging tables here means you use any possible and court means to overstep or sidestep the legal process. Didn't the former Chief Justice say by his words, using his lips to tell us, some of the judges through their wives were receiving bribes? When he was pressed further to say he cannot, because of the sensitivity of the matter, he cannot reveal to the public. Meaning, Miriam, that Waluke case is still suspect because the law is clear. Guilty until proved innocent. That is the law. And that is the spirit of innocence until proved guilty. So, Miriam, let us not be taken as if we are children or we never went to school. The fact that I didn't go to a law school doesn't mean I don't understand law. You do not need to be an electrical engineer to put on an electric switch, Miriam, in your house. We don't need to be. So we understand the basic law. Waluke is guilty. That is the status.
Guilty as
and it
charged.
should remain until it's proved innocent. I submit, Miriam, because the judiciary is the weakest point, the weakest link, because Law 5 of Maxwell says the weakest point of a link impacts the entire strength of a team. For me, judiciary is the weakest link in the justice system of this republic. For now, Miriam, I submit.
All right, Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, thank you so much. Innocent until proved guilty, and once you've been proved guilty, you stay guilty until you've been proved otherwise. I think that is what Dr. Nyanchama there has told us. Now, the story that you led earlier in the morning, well, it's still morning, but on our earlier show, page 8 of the Daily Nation, Haji said big fish using courts to delay justice. And some high-profile Kenyans have mastered the art of manipulating the criminal justice system to avoid their day in court. The country's top prosecutor has said. Director of Criminal Prosecutions, Nordin Haji, has said many grave cases involving prominent individuals have stalled as the suspect file different applications to stop the trial. Mr. Haji, who was sworn in office slightly over 3 years ago, said the trend had greatly hampered his office's ability to attain its conviction targets. And then I'll just jump over some of the things that we looked at earlier. And he's saying one of the things that causes the constraints within the judiciary, the COVID-19 caused constraints within the judiciary for the last 1 year. But the other thing, of course, is the accused and their defense lawyers filing numerous applications, which, of course, is within their constitutional right. But there are also abusers of the process, like some of the governors. They hop from court to court to another, making the same application and delaying us, Mr. Aji said. So how can we, in this regard, just going by what the DPP said there, how can we change some of these laws? Are they too lenient? And the loopholes within that system, is it making it difficult for justice to be administered? Professor?
You see, from where the Director for Public Prosecution, Miriam, for having come open that way, Miriam, is a frustrated man. I can tell you for that. And you have had, and I want to thank Dr. Nyanchama that by having said that you don't need to go to a law school to know what those are all about, Miriam. And sometimes, Miriam, I'm tempted, Miriam, why don't we even give these cases to Fide Gerdas, Miriam? They can handle these cases within 1 day, and we will shepherd the people to commit. If they don't adjourn, wherever they have a case, and Tawis can also tell me that, can testify that, they don't adjourn. They sit from morning in the afternoon, at around 3, they have finished your case, they have sentenced you, and they are enjoying their drink. What am I trying to say, Miriam? You have had this case, and the corruption, Miriam, is a process. It's not an event. It's not a one-man person, Miriam. And how these big fish, this thing, how do you call them, Kamongo? These ones, it's, the way they do it, Miriam, they do it from investigation, where the investigators and corruption and director for public prosecution gives a weak evidence. Even when the prosecutor, Miriam, even prosecutors and the state council who prosecute Miriam, they don't ask questions which can nab you so that you go in, Miriam. So Miriam, when we have got areas where people don't love this country and they want to be beneficiary of corruption, Miriam, it becomes the case. So you have had the chief judge saying that if you bring a weak case in court, we will release people, Miriam, as if, Miriam, they are concerned with setting people free so that they are concerned with their repartees, but they are not concerned that these people are killing the masses and are messing up this country, Miriam. And sometimes, Miriam, I wonder whether these churches or the whoever is fighting corruption, where they live in this country. I took one day the chairman for anti-corruption, Wabukara Miriam, until he admitted. Me, when I work in this country, I see corruption. You mean they don't work and see it, Miriam? And tell these people now that when they are charged with this. So the point I'm trying to say is this. The director for public prosecution, Miriam, has become a marked man. He's a frustrated man. He's supposed to be independent, Miriam. He's not in the executive, neither is he in the judiciary, Miriam. So the war between the executive and the judiciary, Miriam. This is what is frustrating the director for public prosecution, Miriam. Because, Miriam, I was reading and I was shocked that this man who went with the third policeman, that this charge raised 24th tomorrow, that there's a right to the removal of Songo from office is unconstitutional, Miriam. See the evidence yesterday we were talking about from the Auditor General, Miriam. So to answer your question and to be very public prosecution is a frustrated man, is ready to prosecute. There are so many adjournments, Miriam, from these lawyers who are using a pattern of lawyers, Miriam, with the money you have stolen, you use it to put it bail, you use it to buy the judges. So that's why he feels frustrated, Miriam, and there's nothing he can do. So the people are the people of Kenya.
Okay.
And I gave you a recommendation this morning from where I sit. There, these people one day they come. We have surrounded the judicial, Miriam. That's when they will realize that the power of the people belongs to the people, and when we donate to them so that they give us justice, they give us nothing less than that. It is just. If people have stolen from us, tell them that this belongs to the public and you belong to commit. I submit.
All right. Thank you so much. Now, at least 8 governors have been charged with graft, but most of the cases are yet to go in to the main hearing. That is according to the DPP. But the Chief Justice has agreed to look into the matter and ensure some of these applications are not entertained and that they have time limits, the DPP added. He further explained that in instances where the courts have stopped prosecution, his office has sought other forums. He is a truly frustrated man who is out there to serve Kenyans, but has not been able to yield the results that perhaps his office wanted from what we see here. Douglas Kirimi.
Thank you, Miriam. The whole point of these corruption issues is that we are having a problem with our judiciary. Judiciary is releasing people with wanton reckless and also with reckless abandon. Why a person like Waruke continues enjoying a salary of an MP, enjoys state protection, and also enjoys public sympathy because of stealing over almost 1 billion shillings from poor farmers. The same farmers who continue massaging the ego of thieves like Waruke and others in this country are the same people who are telling Waruke to run for governor so that he can continue stealing bigger percentages and bigger margins of public resources. When we have judges who sit at the Court of Appeal using loopholes that were injected into our constitution in 2010 and also continue keeping thieves in office, Miriam, it beats logic why, as a country, we have not disbanded our constitution and adopted the old constitution. Because, Miriam, I don't understand which country we live today and why is the DPP a frustrated man. I don't understand. I don't understand why the same DPP will take a person, convict, take them to court with the clear evidence. A person gets convicted, the court declares they are jailing unconstitutional, or somehow gives them bail and also makes sure they don't serve their prison term. And these people continue terrorizing us, Miriam. We have so many cases that continue dragging on in those courts, Miriam. So many of them have been acquitted under clear circumstances. When it is clear that people have stolen government resources, Miriam, we continue facing threat as a people in this country who continue paying taxes as a threat to our economy and also to our national security, Miriam. A person like Waruke should be in prison today, Miriam. When we are told we are having economic terrorists like Waruke who continue roaming the corridors of parliament, when a punitive law is brought before parliament, he is likely to support it because that is a man that knows his days are numbered and he might be jailed, Miriam. And we need to draw the line very clear for the new judiciary under Martha Koome. We need to tell Martha Koome the truth, that we no longer trust the judiciary the way it is today, because at the end of the day, why are we having people like Warukes of this world? Mithika Linturi of Meru, Senator Mithika Linturi, has numerous cases in court. If that person alone, the evidence suggests that he has been stealing public resources, why do we have a man by the name Senator Mithika Linturi who wants to become governor to continue munching Meru's budgetary allocations over 10 billion shillings? If he has stolen small monies from government agencies, why do we want to give the people of Kenya another punishment of treating these people like gods and electing them in an election, Miriam? We need to be able to draw the line very clear. Our judiciary is divided in the middle. The anti-corruption court is working, half of it is working, another half is not working. And Miriam, we cannot say because a rapist used a condom to rape a child or to rape a woman is a good rapist. At least he tried. Judiciary is raping the people of Kenya. Sorry to use that analogy. It's a bad analogy.
A good one.
But yes, Professor.
It's a good one.
Thank you. We cannot have a judiciary that releases people and another judiciary that jails people. A person that jailed Waruke is not the same person that released Waruke, and Waruke still roams around. We cannot have those kind of Kenyans that we continue calling our judges and nobody does checks and balances to them, Miriam. Because, Miriam, I don't understand how Mike Sonko is not in prison. I had predicted he shall be impeached and be taken to prison, but he has not yet gone to prison, but he has been impeached. We are being told that Mike Sonko is coming to power today through a same court process. Miriam, people continue abusing court processes in this country, and we cannot accept this injustice to the people of Kenya from our judiciary. It is tantamount to an injustice and unfairness to the people of Kenya who continue suffering under the hands of these corrupt people. Remember Waruke, as a boss in Nairobi, their boss is William Ruto. The same crop of people. Mithika Linturi as his boss in Nairobi. Mithika Linturi continues masquerading as a good leader. In this country, Miriam, where one court will find you culpable of corruption, and another court wakes up in the morning and declares you are jailing unconstitutional. They declare another day, tomorrow you should be released. Miriam, why are we not even releasing all the poor people in prisons today? I'm an advocate of the poor people. They should be released and go to their families. If a person stole a chicken in Meru and was jailed last week, they should be released with immediate effect. If we can't jail thieves like William Ruto, Waruke, Mithika Linturi of Meru, Kipchumba Murkomen of Aurora and Kimwaret, all those for the poor. We are all Kenyans equal under the law. Whether you are rich, whether you are William Ruto, whether you are Mithika Linturi, a thief is a thief, Miriam. Our judiciary should be able to put up punitive charges on these people. They should charge them and also make when they are charged before the judiciary should make sure that these people receive punitive sentences, Miriam. We are having these economic terrorists masquerading as presidential candidates, saviors of tomorrow. Yes. Miriam, it is a shame to be a Kenyans. The way Professor is saying it is true. It is a shame to be a Kenyan this morning. This morning, when we have a judiciary that favors thieves and the corrupt elements in the society, but continues jailing poor people who have no rights, who have no who cannot fight justice and fairness before an industry and a service that is supposed to serve the people of Kenya, the judiciary. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're saying the judiciary should put in punitive sentences like the one we thought was given to Waluke, but guess where he is right now? Earning salary and still a member of parliament and out of jail. Okay. Interesting. We're joined by Dr. David Matanga, who has gotten us in a middle of very heated debate. Kenyans are not happy this morning by the way corruption cases has been taken care of when it comes to our criminal justice system. Dr. David Matanga, good morning.
Good morning, Miriam, and good morning, my fellow panelists, Dr. Nachama, Professor Onyari, Champlain, Olesesana Tawish, Douglas Krimi. Thank you very much for speaking out and calling it a spade a spade. Look, Onyari, we shall talk until our voices go away. But there is one thing I told you this week. This week I've been telling you some things. I'm revealing parables. Shut the door. Shut the door. You are leaving thieves to masquerade as senators. You are leaving deputy president. Everybody fears to call him a thief, except some of us who are ready to sacrifice our lives. No, we work with threats, brother on threats. People threaten us. We don't know what will happen to us. Miriam, a thief is a thief. A corrupt person is a corrupt person.
Right.
The president said in his first term, he could not do anything, but he was fighting corruption. And the president should also now, time has come for him to come out and tell us exactly who is this thief.
That's what I said that time in the morning.
Your Excellency, you are now putting us who are talking in very bad situation. Sir, we are the ones being condemned, being killed on the streets, kidnapped. Because we are pointing a finger at the thief. Threats are being made on our lives. Because we are speaking, they have developed a Russian method of killing, eliminating people, abducting people because we speak of corruption. Mzee utatu, si tutakufa bure. Huyu mjamaa is a real thief. Lakini ataki mtu kupoint a finger at him. The thief lies near the president. The deputy president is the man who has orchestrated all this national haste from the Sky One team. Dr. William Samoei Ruto told us not 21 billion lost, 7 billion lost. Where is it? He even told us that that money is in the judiciary. It is in the bank. The bank. There is, Miriam, did you hear something called bank guarantee? How many Kenyans know what a bank guarantee is? Wanjiku, the hustler. The hustler, he tells to have a wheelbarrow. The hustler is trying to give bottom up. What is this bottom up? Bottom up. Fungua, bottom, fungua. Isn't it fungua bottom ya wanawake? Fungua. That's what Ruto is doing. Fungua bottom up. Let's go to Mombasa. Fungua bottom. Hey, let him try us. We shall reveal a lot. Fungua bottom up. bottom-up economy. Where is it? Where is this bottom-up economy? How can you service a bottom-up economy when you don't service corruption, when you don't declare corruption, when you can't detain people? Shut up. The law of Kenya, the judiciary in Kenya. Miriam, you chose this morning a good topic. Mathanga has been one of the few individuals who never likes to see Maraga's face, and neither do I want to see it. Anywhere in the Commonwealth, if you apply for a job, I will undermine him. By the way, Maraga, you should know I'm very powerful in the Commonwealth. I don't know whether you know much, but you better know. Anywhere you go to apply for a job, and I see David Maraga's name, huwezi kupata. Huwezi kupata, you a thief. You a thief in Kenya, you left us with thieves. So I will not allow you anywhere in the Commonwealth. Hata wakupatie even if you observe elections, itakukataa. Tena we unataka ujue leo, you don't live in London, I live in London. Wewe unaweza mimi wewe. Takukataa. I will call Baroness Scotland. Don't cancel the name. Do you know Baroness Scotland? You don't even know how she looks like. That the Chief Justice ya Kenya. Wacha maneno former. Takata, wewe, Maraga, you caused us a problem. You went on quarreling with the president instead of detaining thieves, instead of telling your judges. Instead, you now protected the judges who were stealing from us. Now, there you are. The DPP says it is the judiciary. It is over. What has Mathanga been telling you? Judiciary. Someone in the judiciary threatened me. I don't want to say it here. But my friend, you are threatening a heavy banana to roll. Ita roll wewe. When nataka kunikula mimi, itakukula heavy banana. Eating heavy banana. Have you heard how Fidel Castro told the people that I'm a heavy banana to roll? Wewe. Unaenda to seduce and rape women in the judiciary. Then you go on telling me, oh, this. Wewe. I'll not reveal your name, but soon you make that call to me again. I will take the thing to cannot. Hey, you wakufate mzuri. You even raped your one of the senior judges there, tearing her cloth. Hey, nyinyi mnakuwa namna gani nyinyi? How can judges behave like this? Una tear the cloth. Omba kitu. Just ask, beg. Some of us even look at people, we want them, but we can't force. Omba, use the legal language. Why do you want to rape another judge? And then you want to be promoted to Supreme Court? Wacha! Unataka kwenda kwa Court of Appeal. Nyenye, look, President Kenyatta has done a very good thing. Not to narrate anything about evidence he has. But the evidence that is there, if it was brought here, Miriam, in this public domain, I want to tell you, some families will break up. So, Mr. President, keep it to that norm. And that is why the Chief Justice of the current Lady Chief Justice, hasn't she appointed these same people to go and do work somewhere? Hasn't she? Among the 7 judges, are they not there also? Why do you think she has ignored the Okodi order? and posted these judges. Did you see that? Yes, because she knows the truth. A judge there has been trying to rape her fellow judges, and the judge is insisting that he wants to become an appeal judge to appeal. You know, rape has stages of appeal. Then he wants, maybe when he reaches appeal, will appeal, mama nakupenda, appeal. Sindio, appeal in English means I love you so much, mama. But why don't you start from down here?
Bottom up.
Hey, bottom up. Ile bottom up ya Ruto. Bottom up, Ruto, bottom up. Wacha kampeni zianze. Ruto atalia machozi. Tutaleta bottom up hizi zote. Tupanike. Tutaona kama family itakuwa hata pamoja. Hii maneno tuwaseme wazi. Watu wanaenda kukulana wanasema bottom up. What bottom up is this? They take people's women at the cause for hammering. Then you come up and say bottom up. Bottom up what? Mimi nakupata kwangu bwana. Hey! Naenda kwa India, nakupata kwangu. Tunaenda kwa Indian Ocean. This bottom up is very dangerous. We are keeping quiet because of President Uhuru Kenyatta. He's giving us this. He's told us to be decent. Because he came, Miriam, he came from a humble, decent background. Not background of telling us we are doing bottom up when you are doing some other people's women. What the bottom up? Where? At the ready. Bottom up, what bottom up? Bottom up economy. How can you bottom up with Korea? Korea cannot give in bottom up or bottom down. They choose very bad words. Hustler. Hustler is Malaya. So you name people hustlers. Bottom up, hustler. Oh yeah. Now they will soon say zip up. Party. Zip. They should have called it zip party. Zip economic policy. Thank you, Miriam. Coming back to your point, I have to bring in this sense of humor because I was listening to Onyali when he said he's very ashamed of being a Kenyan. Didn't you say that, Onyali? I heard you say that. I am very sorry. Some of us lost our country, but it has not gone to this level. At least Museveni, when he knows you have stolen real money, you don't end up laughing like the way people laugh in Kenya. No. He has his other side problems. You know what, Ma'am? The biggest problem Museveni has is when you touch of saying you also want to become a president like him. There he will come for you. But when you tell him there is a thief, he will call you. I said, go and tell the other. They will even arrest you. And then while he's on radio, on TV, trying to say, I don't know what these chaps are doing. But they have taken you. That is my president across the bridge. He doesn't spare thieves. You can condemn him of everything. But Museveni, on when they say you are a thief, and you are stealing some money, my friend, you know if you are lucky you are arrested during that time, you could be lucky. Am I wrong, Onyali? You are right. In Kampala, you were told stories. Yes. But that's why people always call me, oh, why don't you declare your interest? Hey, there is a man there who does not want you to declare anything on presidency. And if you know he plays with this small younger boy, because he knows the younger boy doesn't know anything to do with policy. He's a populist tribal king. But when a man from a national point of view, nationalistic, like some of us who would appeal to northern Uganda to give us votes, some of us who would go into Buganda and speak Luganda and Runyankole and win votes, he will crack on you. But because in Kampala at the moment, corruption is being fought, one of the things that Museveni does, he doesn't want a corrupt person. Either drops you out of your cabinet. If he has had anything with you, you will go. Even if you're a friend, you will not be in the cabinet. Tell me where the Minister of Foreign Affairs is now, of Kenya. Is he not his relative? The Foreign Affairs Minister of Uganda, is he not his relative? Kwisha. Alimutoa, embarrassed, nsema uwezi. Because huko US wanakutaka. Sasa utakimbia namna gani kufanya kazi? That one is a fight. But coming to Kenya, the door must close, must shut. Mr. President, shut the door. Those who are corrupt, expose them, cut off links with this guy. The earlier you cut, don't wait for this guy to cut links with you. Let you cut, you tell Kenyans that you were elected together, but you have, the marriage is not anymore. Therefore, you want to finish the job for Kenyans. In 12 months left, you want to finish reconstruction, put a unit of purpose. Mr. Deputy President, I don't want you to come near any function. Neither. Because, you know, people have forgotten. People have forgotten. And let me give advice for free. The Constitution of Republic of Kenya says that the president shall give duties. I want Onyali to explore this.
Yes.
Shall give you duties. Even if you are elected, you will be given duties. Let the president announce officially that all duties assigned to the deputy president have been withdrawn. And let's see whether there will be one policeman guarding Mr. Ruto. And Miriam, do you know that this is coming? Ruto will hire his Russian friends and the Ukrainians. He has brought very many. We are having Ukrainians and Russians coming here, bringing polonium-210 to us to kill us. Very many of them are here. Have you seen very many? How can you say you are selling cars? Russia selling a car in Africa. Which car is made in Russia that can run in Africa? Show me, Miriam. You are bringing Russian mafia, Ukrainian mafia to steal bank accounts. The DPP has called out, has shouted out. He has said the courts are a problem. It is true. But let me go further. I don't want to say let me go deeper to the bottom, because I don't want to be part of bottom up. Let me go further. Medium. The Constitution of the Republic of Kenya is the monster. Judges will say, we interpreted the Constitution, isn't it? That's what they do. And if the Constitution says give a man bail, let's not only blame the judges. Let's blame the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. Onyali, it is the Constitution that is a problem.
I've said that, sir.
It is. When you bring BBI to change the Constitution, Ruto goes to pay 3 professors of the university to write a ruling. And that professor even came back on TV. He even told me that he's the one who wrote the ruling that is finished the BBI. And he was paid very handsomely by the deputy president. So you want Matanga to enjoy this show. I would like to tell you, change your constitution. A person cannot steal money on Friday, is charged on Monday, and on Wednesday is bottom up in sessions. Are you following the sequence, Mr. Onyari?
Oh, yes.
Is bottom up in Mauritius with a concubine and a calico. They are on the Indian Ocean in Zanzibar, enjoying the money on Wednesday with the same calicos. Bottom up. You see why people steal money in these countries? Because of women. I want to be honest. Some of them want to impress the women. Look at all the no. Miriam, I'm not against women. But look at this argument. An office messenger working with NHIF seduces a Kisii judge, let me be honest, from Nyamira, again, from Nyachama and Gerard Onyari. Sindio hii TV ya kusema ya ukweli. Tuambiane ukweli. The lady is very beautiful. Seduces. Yeah. The lady is very beautiful. The office messenger buys a Range Rover and 8 palatial homes after stealing the money from NHIF, which you had collected painfully. Where is that case? Where is the case? Where is the case, Mr. Onyari? I'm waiting for you. You are the only one in near very dangerous people in Nyamira. I'm not saying everybody in Nyamira is dangerous.
There's a weak link in the judiciary.
A weak link, exactly. The Chief Justice was from Nyamira. The lady was from Nyamira. The Chief Justice transferred that lady. I don't want to say the station because I will be pointing directly. But do you remember, all of you judges watching us, the woman who drove a Range Rover white, which was photographed after graduating from VIX. Is it VIX? What is it called? These small cars that Matanga cannot fit in. What is it called? Because if you give me that one, I'll have to cut my back twice to go in VIX. Women will like them so much. Oh, I want you to love me, but buy me VIX. VIX, what is VIX? Onyari, can you tell me what VIX is? A VIX, or what is it called? This small car.
Idea.
No, you have an idea because that person who was driving it to Nyamira. Why are you trying to run away from the truth? The judge is called VIX. VIX.
8.
Isn't it?
VIX 8.
Thank you. It's called VIX. VIX. You see, I cannot pronounce it because I can't buy such a thing. I can't waste money to buy. How do you degrade a whole judge? By buying a VIX. A woman who has read 4 degrees, loved by an office messenger. Not that office messengers are not handsome. They are. But a corrupt office messenger does not become handsome. when you are breaking the law, and even warning us. You remember the judge who warned us that if you write about this story, now you know her. She's from Nyamira. Where? Onyali, cry for yourself. Don't cry for Matanga. Because I'm already ahead. What did Paulo say? I'm already ahead in the Philippines. You remember that land of Philippines or Palestine? I'm already ahead. Cry for yourselves. Don't cry for Dr. Matanga. Please, sympathize to yourselves, not to me. A whole judge. When we complained after 2 days, Tawish, you remember, the Range Rover was removed. The Range Rover was removed. And when the Range Rover was removed, the lady disappeared, was transferred to another station. And that is exactly what happens with the justice in Kenya. So I want to submit by saying it is true the judiciary is the weakest link, but the Constitution of Republic of Kenya needs to change, to be changed, that you arm the judiciary with facts, with the law, that they can sentence these criminals who steal the money of Wanjiku, of Otieno, of Tawish, of Nyamira, of Onyari, of Onyachama, of Douglas, of Miriam. I submit.
All right. Thank you so much. And from that interview yesterday by the DPP Haji, he said 15 magistrates are currently presiding over anti-corruption courts, and so the DPP appealed to Chief Justice Martha Koome to push for this number to go a bit up. So we see there's a problem with staffing in the judiciary. I don't know if there's anything else somebody else wants to add to that before we end the show. Javan Karanja?
It's not there.
Okay. Samuel Tawish?
Not there.
All right.
I think Miriam, Professor Abde.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
I think Miriam, there's something that Professor Nyari did mention the other time, that if you are given 1,000 shillings, but you cannot show the use of the 1,000 shillings, how can you be entrusted with 1,000,000 shillings? And so I think it is a challenge to the judiciary that much as we are calling for more personnel, for more manpower, for them to get more staff so that they can not have an excuse in as far as delivery of service is concerned, I think it is important for them also to acknowledge the fact that it is not only the judiciary that needs a sufficiency when it comes to staffing, that they can utilize the same staff they have to dispense justice. What am I trying to say essentially, Miriam, that the lack of having a few staff should not be an excuse from the judiciary not actually to dispense justice to the people of Kenya. But I think generally I concur with what Dr. Masanga said, Professor Nyari and my other colleague panelists, that the judiciary has largely been a very big weak link when it comes to the fight against corruption. And this is what we should continue pursuing. We should continue reminding the judiciary, especially through its leadership, Chief Justice Martha Koome, that there's something that needs to be done in as far as rectifying this fault line in the justice system is concerned. And I think the buck stops with her in as far as dealing with this weak link is concerned. Miriam, I submit.
All right. So during his talks with Justice Koome, Mr. Haji asked her to push for hiring more anti-corruption court magistrates, as the current 15 cannot handle the high volume of the cases. So that leads to a lot of backlog. So having enough staff in the judiciary is, I think, very important.
Right.
And we have also asked if the judiciary can automate their processes. Judges are still taking notes manually. Sometimes we have to wait for them to type before we can proceed, Mr. Haji said. So those are clearly the judiciary, has issues there. Dr. Joseph Janchaba.
Thank you, Miriam. Obviously, the judiciary needs to find effective ways of disposing of cases because this republic needs justice. You know, I'm one of those saddened citizens, especially the case of Waluke, and I want any lawyer to challenge me because the lady who dispensed of this case did it judiciously, and the state of Waluke shifted from innocence to guilty. And she is at a guilty status until she is proved innocent. How can she be continuing earning Kenyan money? So, as we are discussing, Miriam, this is through a digital platform. I think judiciary needs to adopt more effective methodologies of dispensing the cases. I absolutely agree with that. And Miriam, by the way, the issues even from the public prosecutor is not only even the number of magistrates. You know, you can have a huge number, but still we have a problem of dispensing justice. It's not just a number. We want effective and fair dispensation of cases. Let the judiciary diagnose the problem. If the problem in the republic is corruption, it has been diagnosed. Once you diagnose a nature of a disease, for example, if a man is suffering from cancer of the lungs, but is being treated for a common cold, Miriam, what do you expect will be the result? Death. In Kenya, we have diagnosed one of the single most challenges is the leakage of public resources through corruption. Diagnosing, that is the disease. What do we need to find now? The correct medicine to treat this disease. But we are using Panadol to treat cancer. The patient, Miriam, will die. And I am telling you, for me, let us have even few but effective judgments that will seal loopholes. Miriam, have we ever traveled to the villages? You see how poverty is very pervasive in the entire villages. You will cry if your heart is soft. Let the people hear this cry. Let the judges hear this cry. Please give Kenyans justice by punishing the looters of the public resources. I end by reminding them what the African proverb says about transparency. If you are peeling groundnuts for a blind man, you must keep on whistling so that he knows you are not eating his groundnuts. Why are all this judicial system of justice quiet? When the women in the village, they are like blind people. People are eating everything for themselves. Miriam, I hear this is the voice of God. I know they have heard. I submit, Miriam.
Okay, thank you so much. Professor?
Yes, Miriam. I don't buy that idea that there's a lot of patrol in the judiciary, Miriam. What they have done, Miriam, is to make it appear it is because of that now that the cases are not rolling, Miriam. Miriam, I have grown in a village, and I was not that lucky like some of you. I would have one cloth, Miriam, and the best I will do, I will go to the river, wash it, sit on the stone naked for it to dry, so that I don't wear a dirty shirt or a shirt. Miriam, I've also equally grown up and have come and said that I am a young man having only one sufuria to start life. Miriam, people come from far. It doesn't mean that you cannot cook and eat. You fry the vegetables, finish, use the same sufuria to cook ugali. The point I'm trying to say, Miriam, can we see the few cases being dispensed? Like, Miriam, when did you hear the cases like the one which was handled by Magistrate Chuma? Then you come and tell us it is the backlog of cases. Can you, the few you handle this and you say that we are able to handle? We are not seeing the wheel of justice moving, it is running very slowly, Miriam. That's the plan. These are the same. We have even said here, Miriam, that the magistrate denies an order here. You go to High Court and you get it even the Court of Appeal. You even had this case of BBI, Miriam, again, of IBC, Miriam. The judge is saying the quorum is properly constituted. What did you see these 5 men do? The 5 of them. They say this is unconstitutional, Miriam, and we are reading the same constitution. Miriam, I have said, Miriam, there is no single day, Miriam, resources are scarce. There is no time resources will be enough for all of us, Miriam. But we try to improvise, Miriam, we share. Miriam, I've also grown in a village, Miriam, where we receive so many of the boys with one blanket, Miriam. And in the hour of the night, we fight for it. This one, you put it like this. And life goes on, the morning comes. Can they do something with the number of the charges they have, Miriam? Miriam, if you complain that the law of which you have been given is full of holes, the best you can do, you eat the bread and leave the holes. That is all it's all about. So, Miriam, everybody will always say that I want more, I want more, I want to be capacitated, I want to do this. Let us see them doing something, Miriam. You know, even the budget we have. You cannot get all that you want. Then this country cannot run. But we want to move and hope that better days are in the future, Miriam. You saw how it was designed, Miriam, and that's why I have got a lot of confidence in the matter. And I hope it does not let me down. I'm sure she's going to do something, Miriam. She came to the judiciary, and now I can understand, Miriam. Now I can understand why someone will say it is either you appoint all of them and then you don't appoint. And it meant the appeal court, Miriam, the benches cannot be constituted, Miriam. Some of the appeal benches, Miriam, like the one for Kisumu, like the one for Mombasa, it was closed, Miriam. So when you make an appeal the way Waruk has done, there's no bench, Miriam. Then you go and sit pretty good. Now you can see the connection, Miriam. But what matters come and said, Miriam, if I don't have an issue, why can't I be given a job to do and I've passed the interview, Miriam? Those ones who are using the bottom up, Dr. Masanga is telling us today, Miriam, instead of just talking nicely, if God has said thou shalt not commit adultery or fornication, and you don't want to be satisfied with that, why can't you talk nicely? Why can't you talk nicely? You get what you want. You want to rape a very judge, and you tell us that you want to be appointed the Court of Appeal, so that you come there to further rulings which are coming from Magistrate Court or the High Court. Miriam, this is totally unacceptable. So the judges here are, we don't have enough money. In the morning we were talking about the budget which has been cut down. Parliament, those characters have said they did not talk 2018, 2019, 2020, then 2021. They are saying now, oh, you cannot add VAT, you cannot do what? We are the one who finance the government, and we must pay taxes. But the question here is, and this is the topic we are discussing, Miriam, what do we do with our taxes? We are not going to have enough money to employ for them judges tomorrow or magistrates tomorrow. So if we are not going to employ magistrates tomorrow because we don't have resources, because resources cannot be enough, what does that one mean? We are not going to deal with corruption? So they are trying to rear paces. And they say, no, you know, we cannot go on or understaffed, Miriam. Let us see the magistrate, the number of cases you have been given, send people to a committee, and we will salute you. Miriam, I submit.
All right, very well, thank you so much. Jevan Karanja, I don't know if he's back.
Douglas.
Douglas is back. All right, Douglas.
Miriam, a time has come for us as a country not to be treated to theatrics that we have continued seeing under our judiciary and also the general populace itself. The people are tired. Poor people continue being jailed, whereas we have thieves who continue masquerading as the leaders of tomorrow and who are going to save us from the economic mess that we have been able to put our country on. A time has come for us to have to draw the red line between judiciary and what they give to the people of Kenya. There are very many elements in judiciary who continue sabotaging their industry and the service to the people of Kenya. Judiciary is an industry and a service that Kenyans must enjoy. We must get justice and the fairness from those courts without fear or favor. Again, judiciary was not meant for the rich people in this country. Miriam, 100% I've confessed again, if I stole 1 billion shillings today like Waruke and other companies who stole from the National Serious Board, I'm more likely to live a better life and more likely to live wealthier than a poor person who steals chicken or a person who steals 10,000 in this country. It is very disappointing to note that this judiciary has perfected the art of releasing thugs and the criminals and jailing petty offenders in this country, which should be solved through arbitration. The issues that young people who are in prison, old people, women, and the girls who are in prison today, the issues that have gotten them to prison and the funding of these prisons can be solved through arbitration. But big thieves like Waruke, he wants to use the route that he stole and invested over the years from National Serious Board to go and run for governor so that he can access a more fat public coffer, the money that is meant for the people of Bungoma. So Miriam, it's a bit logic why we keep rewarding thieves and the mediocrity in this country. And in this country, we can never reward hard work, industry, and the service to the nation. We only reward thieves. I wonder why people celebrate a known thief who uses proxies in this country, who makes sure children of other poor people continue suffering because of his stealing and mistakes like William Ruto for presidency. It's a bit logic why people in Meru want Mithika Linturi to run for senator, a man that has even faked his own academic documents to be a senator today, faked his way to Nairobi Law School, the University of Nairobi Law School and all that. Miriam, it's a bit logic in this country. People like Governor Nanok are being touted to be the next chief ministers in the Asra's government in 2022, if it will ever be. But we cannot be able to have a judiciary that continues rewarding thieves and economic terrorists in this country, whereas the service and the industry that is supposed to be given to the people of Kenya is not being given by judiciary. Miriam, as I submit, we need to have a clear red line between what judiciary is offering the people of Kenya and what the people of Kenya signed for. They signed for justice and service from judiciary. They did not sign up for people like Waruke to go scot-free and continue masquerading as future leaders who are going to save us from the economic mess. And people like William Ruto in this country, they know when they go to those courts, they are going to be declared, their trial is going even to be declared unconstitutional, Miriam. Their rights are being infringed. These courts are going to show us things, Miriam.
All right. Court is tatuonyesha mambo. I guess that's direct translation from mother tongue. Thank you so much. Douglas Kirimi, Professor Jared Onyari, Jevan Karanja, Samuel Tawish, and Dr. Joseph Nyanchama. Doctor, yes, you want to end the show for us?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Miriam, as usual, it is very good for an editor to end and give you up, bottom, not bottom up. Because up, bottom is common sense. Bottom up is not very good. Miriam, I submit, and I still insist, whether today or tomorrow, the Constitution of Republic of Kenya, once interpreted by the judiciary the way it is now, whether you bring a judge from heaven who has just come from Angel Gabriel, he will make the same ruling. Yes, we agree there is a lot of corruption. There's payment for cases to be won by particular parties. But Miriam, I tell you the truth, from my humbleness of my beginnings, where I was born as a Christian Anglican, I find very disturbing how the Constitution of Kenya gives a man who has stolen money on Friday, goes to court on Monday, given bail, uses the same money which has hidden from a relative to pay bail. This is our money stolen already. A relative comes who is not checked how the relative got the money. Okay? And he is given bail by the same judge. The man disappears to Mauritius for a holiday with the same people, his wife, to enjoy the money. And the case is dragged. The case is dragged in the Kenyan courts for over 6-7 years. Believe me or not, there is a case that was there in Uhuru 1, which is still here. Has Kidero ever been acquitted? I am not saying Kidero is the only one, but I'm giving an example of my friend Kidero. His cases started in Uhuru 1. Today, not a single case has successfully been concluded. Because of the law, the lacks in the law. Miriam, I want to submit again, the judiciary must work with a new dispensation of a constitution, which the parliament must enact laws that punish people. So in this, until we change the Constitution of Republic of Kenya and put it on a footing of the Commonwealth law that catches criminals who have stolen money. People steal money on Friday, enjoy the money, go to court on Monday, they are given bail on Tuesday, they disappear to sessions to enjoy with their girlfriends. What type of administration of justice is this? We can blame the judges, my viewers, but the problem is it remains the same. Let's change the law. Let's change the law to catch. A law like in Rwanda, summarily Miriam, the law like in Rwanda, if you are caught on an economic crime at all, you know what happens? You don't come out of the court after 6 months. You go on remand for 6 months. Why? They go and look for that money. They trace everywhere whom you might have contact. They check all accounts of your friends. If they find unusual amounts, yesterday in Kenya, the communication director of Kemra, of the roads, you have seen it somewhere. This woman hammered money, bought apartments. You see, I've been telling you Kenyans, you have been bewitched in buying apartments. Every Kenyan you find a woman, you want to love a woman in Kenya, she tells you, can you buy me apartment? Jawish, can you tell me what happened here? Miriam, what happened here? This woman from Kera buys apartments because that's the only way in Kenya to hide your money. The worst thing in these people who steal money, none of them builds a factory. I would be more considerate to a thief who has built a factory that employs over 50,000 people. At least there I could say he's serving the community. But an apartment is self, the rent comes to you. The person living there is the one you have stolen, whose money you have stolen. And then tell me, I have my apartments in Nairobi. You find them all the time on these Kenya Airways. Oh, where are you going to stay? I have my apartment, because he has also got a chance to fly in business class. Stupid. When they are thieves. It's only us who should fly in business class, because we work hard for the money. I worked hard for 36 years to be a Platinum Elite Plus member of Kenya Airways. Isn't it? From 1985, where were you? So when Kenya Airways sees me, my name is on the list. They automatically transfer me to business class. I never bribe them. No. That is the type of life. Lakini hao unapata kwa business club waizi wameiba pesa za Kenya. Umeona? And then they tell the people, the local people, the Wanjiku, the Jaco banners, the people who are pushing mkokoteni. Wewe, lipa rent ndio ulale hapa. So Miriam, I want to submit by pleading for my people, pleading to the people of Kenya, that if they want to fight corruption, the DPP is coming here crying. He's crying because the biggest problem we have is the Deputy Chief Justice. Isn't it? Did you talk about it, Miriam? The Deputy Chief Justice. That was the first setback for the DPP. He was actually shocked that Maraga could appoint a 5-man bench to look into the accusations that were criminal. They changed the constitution and avoided. She refused to resign. So do you blame now? Whom do you blame? Even the judges who are appointed on the panel, what can they do? It's the constitution. Change it. The will to detain people to commit Miriam depends on the will to change the constitution. I thank you very much, and that the Constitution of Republic of Kenya change to fix criminals. You don't eat money on Friday, then get bail on Tuesday, and then disappear to Seychelles. Thank you. God bless you.
All right, and thank you.
Asante.
Very well. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye for now.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.